My boyfriend saw my Venmo and asked, "Why are you getting paid $500 weekly by someone called Sugar Daddy?" I nearly choked on my cereal because that was not a conversation I wanted to have at 8 a.m. on a Tuesday. "It's not what it looks like," I said quickly. But Jake was already scrolling through my transaction history with his eyebrows raised. "Really? Because it looks like you're getting paid every Friday for the past 3 months by someone whose contact name is literally Sugar Daddy Mike with money bag emojis." He turned his phone toward me, showing the evidence. "Are you seriously doing that kind of work without telling me?" I grabbed my phone back, my face burning red. "Jake, I swear to God it's not what you think. Mike is my boss at the pet sitting company." He stared at me like I'd grown a third leg. "Your boss pays you through Venmo, and you call him Sugar Daddy Mike?" I realized how absolutely insane this sounded, but it was the truth. The company payroll system has been broken for months, so Mike pays all the employees through Venmo, and I saved his contact as Sugar Daddy Mike as a joke because he's always buying us coffee and treats for the dogs. Jake was not buying this explanation at all. "That's the most ridiculous cover story I've ever heard. Look, I'll prove it." I called Mike right there in our kitchen. He answered on the second ring with his usual cheerful voice. "Hey kitten, you're not scheduled until this afternoon. Everything okay?" I put him on speaker. "Mike, my boyfriend thinks we're having some kind of inappropriate relationship because of how you pay us and how your name shows up in my phone." Mike burst out laughing. "Oh no, not again. This happened with my daughter's boyfriend last month. He thought she was cheating on him with her Sugar Daddy Mike." He explained to Jake that his payroll company had been hacked 6 months ago, so he'd been paying everyone through Cash Apps. Jake still looked skeptical. "But why Sugar Daddy Mike?" Mike laughed even harder. "Because I spoil my employees and the pets rotten. Free coffee every day, premium dog treats, bonuses for good work." The girls started calling me Sugar Daddy Mike because I'm always buying supplies and treating them like family. He invited Jake to come by the office to meet the team. You can meet the other 4 dog walkers who probably also have me saved as Sugar Daddy Mike in their phones. I could see Jake starting to believe the story, but he was still embarrassed about jumping to conclusions. "This is why you should have just told me you had a job," he muttered. After we hung up with Mike, Jake apologized profusely. "I should have just asked you directly instead of making assumptions," but then he got curious about other things. "Wait, if you're only making $250 twice a month, how are you paying for all those expensive dinners you've been getting delivered?" My stomach dropped because I'd been hoping he wouldn't notice my DoorDash habit. "That's a different situation," I said, trying to change the subject. But Jake was already connecting dots. "Please tell me you're not actually doing Sugar Daddy stuff on the side to pay for food." I just waved it off and tried to ignore him for the rest of the day. The next day, I brought Jake to the pet sitting office to meet Mike and prove my story. He was exactly what you'd expect. A 50-something guy in dog hair-covered clothes who immediately offered us both coffee and dog treats to sample. "See," he said to Jake, "total Sugar Daddy behavior but completely innocent." The other employees confirmed that they all had similar contact names for Mike and that he was basically the most generous boss ever. "Last month, he paid for my dog's vet bill when I couldn't afford it," one coworker said. Jake felt terrible for assuming the worst and bought lunch for the whole pet sitting crew as an apology. "I watch too much true crime," he explained to Mike. "When I saw those payments, my mind immediately went to the darkest possibility." Mike laughed it off and said it happened more often than you'd think. "My wife gets suspicious looks at the bank when she deposits checks made out to Sugar Daddy Mike's pet care." That night, Jake finally relaxed, convinced everything was fine. But when I checked my phone before bed, another $500 transfer came in. The message read, "Good job." He bought every word.